Today on the channel, we got one of the greatest of all time, once again, with the retro Epic Toys limited edition, Bobby the Brain Heenen.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, back again with another Epic Toys retro unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Bobby Heenen one more time. But for all your Bobby Heenen needs and a whole lot more, hit up Figure Collections. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. That's exactly what I did. Figure Collections does stock all the Epic Toys stuff here in the United States, and that's where I grabbed these from. Of course, we did unbox the Bobby Heenen red coat version, but you know me, I love Bobby the Brain Heenen. I wanted to get all versions. That's why I got the more limited black version right here. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to box it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. In my mind, when I think of Bobby Heenen in a black tux, I think of the Bobby Heenen Show. Of course, Bobby Heenen's talk show from way back in the day. Absolutely appointment TV for little Kyle. I didn't get 90% of the jokes as a little kid, but watching them many years later, I think they went on the original WWE Network is where I first saw them again. It was like seeing them for the first time, but so much fun. Absolutely love the Bobby Heenen Show. I know a lot of people were mad they got a little shortchanged in their primetime wrestling. They added that to it. It didn't last long. There's a whole story about that. Look that up if you care about it. But man, oh man, groundbreaking TV if there ever was one. And Bobby Heenen, one of the classic wrestling superstars. And I really feel like if I had to do a Mount Rushmore of my favorites of all time, Bobby Heenen has to be on it because an amazing manager. I don't know if you could say amazing wrestler, but you could. He did wrestle and he would take bumps, he would bleed, he would be all over the place. Absolutely amazing. Of course, as an announcer, he just did it all. He was truly a guy that could do everything in wrestling and definitely quick-witted, definitely a great sense of humor as well to boot on top of that. So one of the all-time legends, Bobby Heenen, happy represented in my collection once again. And looking beautiful in the packaging as well. Got the black suit going on, got the red bow tie, got that very Hasbro call out there on the package. Of course, Epic Toys logo up top. Figure itself, it does say Bobby Heenen, limited edition, Epic Toys, Wrestling Megastars, of course. On the back, got a little of that cross-sell, got Onita, got Bobby, got Zukov, got Eddie Guerrero. We unboxed all those on the channel. Check those videos out if you did miss any of those. Little file card down at the bottom. Let's see what it says about Bobby the Brain, the Heenen. Height 5'10", 242 pounds. From Beverly Hills, California. You stick with him and he'll take you to the top. The greatest manager in the history of wrestling can now guide your wrestling megastars to championship gold. So maybe in my Fig Fed later tonight, maybe we'll get down to that little business here. We'll see what happens. But of course, removable packaging on these. Do absolutely love that. I do save my packaging on all my retros. A nice gentle off to the side. See you later. And now we got Bobby the Brain, the Heenen once again. And we're seeing a lot of reuse on this as we're not, I was expected to see that, I guess. We know how the toy business goes with the molds. But we do got a good Bobby Heenen head here. It looks like Bobby Heenen in retro form. Does have a little bit of J.J. Dillon look to it. And maybe even more Jerry Jarrett look to him here. But I can squint my eyes and make believe this is Bobby Heenen. It still looks pretty good. Blonde wavy hair there for Bobby, a little bit of smile. You got those beautiful blue eyes, of course. Bobby looking into your soul, as we know. Got that big bright red bow tie going on. You got the sequin jacket over the top. Of course, Bobby's such a snazzy dresser, as we know as well. Got the gold cufflinks, got a little wristwatch. You know that's a Rolex. Bobby wouldn't roll any other way, of course. Black pants here, dress pants, and black dress shoes as well on him here. Fist of Fury, of course, on the arm. Very tight in the articulation. There it is. Arm does go all the way around for us. Head, a little bit of back and forth, waist articulation, and that's all she wrote as far as articulation does go. Now, one of the big differences between the other figure, we'll compare it here in a second, is the microphone. So you get a microphone hand, and then you get a microphone. You got the silver topper on the microphone. I believe this is our first microphone from Epic Toys, so cool to see that. The microphone comes in and out. I was wondering if it was removable, and it is, and that does look really nice. Of course, Bobby Heenen having a microphone a lot over the years, as we know as well. You got the rings on the figures to go with that watch. looking very, very nice. No branding, nothing like that on the bottom of the feet. No hole either, so we can't put him on a stand. But I would have branded that. If I was Epic Toys, always put your branding on your action figures. Why wouldn't you if you can get away with it? Looking good there. Bobby will stand just fine on his own as well. Ready to talk on the microphone, ready to guide somebody, ready to announce, ready to do anything. A jack of all trades if there ever was one. And then, of course, talking about Bobby Heenen, we got the original version here. Similar but different, that's what we're going to call it. Same body mold going on, same jacket, same head, all that kind of stuff. But then the big difference here is down in the arms. We reverse the fist on the opposite side, and then we got the pointing to the brain hand here, and you got the announcing hand holding the microphone hand over here. So very similar, but also very different at the same time. You got the different colored jackets. It just really comes down to what do you prefer your Bobby Heenen in? How do you like your Bobby Heenens? I could see them, I don't know if they still have the license to Bobby Heenen, but they very easily could re-release this once again and put him in the white tuxedo from Andre the Giant and him, WrestleMania 3, wasn't it, I believe, when he wore the white tux? There's a lot of different looks for Bobby. Would love to see that old school LJN sweater going on. Let's get that as well. But Bobby Heenen, a favorite of mine, as I said before. I will buy all the Bobby Heenen figures that come out. So iconic, so fun, and definitely a part of my childhood I don't ever want to forget is Bobby Heenen. And speaking of Bobby Heenen, in the Bobby Heenan show, might as well have announcer Alfred Hayes. Oh, man, I love this Alfred Hayes figure. I was so happy to get this in my collection this year. This is via Grapplers and Gimmicks. Just next level. I absolutely love Lord Alfred Hayes. I love what he brought to the table back in the day. Just so fun to get him in action figure form finally after all these years. And he, of course, was the announcer for the Bobby Heenan show. So maybe I'll pair these guys up in my collection. We'll see what ends up happening in the future. But there it is. Quick and simple. Epic Toys Megastars limited edition version of Bobby Heenan in black. What's your guys' thoughts on this one? Worth the pickup for you? Easy pass? Long game? No game? Let me know in the comments down below. And you made it this far, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're on the hunt for 50,000 subscribers on this very YouTube channel. When we get there, if we get there by March, we're going to do 5 giveaways for 5 years of the channel. So subscribe if you have not already. And tell a friend. How about that? Check out the Patreon for early access to both YouTube channel videos. Plenty of bonus content over there as well. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and of course now on TikTok. And don't forget my book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series. Almost 1 year old at this point. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and of course digitally. So for Bobby the Brain Heenan, Epic Toys, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.